In section 32, we'll look at some of the additional features of SmartList Builder. The Display SQL option allows you to view the basic SQL script that the SmartList Builder setup would use. You can add the columns, restrictions, and calculations in as well. This can be used for troubleshooting, creating your own views, or using as reporting somewhere else. Not all features you've set up on your list will show up in the Display SQL option, but most will to get you the basic data the list would return. The Preview Data option was new to SmartList Builder in 2013. It will show you the first 100 records of data that your setup would pull. It doesn't include all of the formatting that you would have set up, but will give you the data you can expect from the list. There are a few different display options you can change to see the fields how you need. You can change the table list to show the fields categorized by type. You can also reorder the fields based on the display name, their default status, as well as a few other options. If you have a bunch of fields that you need to make the same settings to, such as setting the decimal places, you can use the Edit Field Settings to do so. This way you don't have to change them one by one. SmartList Builder also has a feature to create a SQL view from the setup. This feature is only available in SmartList Builder and not Excel Report Builder or Navigation List Builder. It was added in SmartList Builder 2015. Let's switch over to Microsoft Dynamics GP and take a look at some of the additional features in SmartList Builder. To look at some of the additional features of the different builders, I'm going to use SmartList Builder. So I'm going to open GP, Tools, SmartList Builder, and then SmartList Builder. Keep in mind these options are going to be available in SmartList Builder, Excel Report Builder, and Navigation List Builder, and they'll be exactly the same. I'm just going to use SmartList Builder to display them here. So the first option is Display SQL. So I'm just going to pull up our GL transaction list that we were using earlier. And you can see here we have our list. Now if I go to Options, there's a Display SQL option. If I retrieve that, it is displaying a select statement of the SQL that this GL transaction list is set up to use. Now it's not putting in any of the formatting or anything like that. It's just selecting all of the columns that are available, not even just the ones that I'm using, but all of them that are available, and then getting that data for us. At the bottom, you'll see that there is checkboxes to add in the fields that we're using, as well as the calculated fields, and any restrictions that we have, so that those all get into that query as well. And you can see the query changed a little bit as I did that. Now the nice thing about this is I can Control A to select it all, then I could do a Control C, copy that, and put it into Management Studio or Notepad or wherever you need that to go, so that you can see it in a little bit bigger detail instead of scrolling through here. What this can be useful for is if it's not working how you think it should, or maybe you just don't understand the joins, did you get them right? I can copy this out, put it into SQL Management Studio, and run it there and see where the issue is. Did I join them wrong? What did I do wrong? If once I figure out what's wrong, I can try and correct it in my SmartList Builder or wherever setup that I'm using. The other nice thing about this is that maybe I need to do some additional querying to this. So I've set this up, but what I need to do I can't do anymore in SmartList Builder. I can take this query and edit it, and then I can add it back in as a SQL script. So that I have the basic SQL script, I can do some magic to it that I need to in SQL, copy it back into SmartList Builder as a SQL script table, and then I have that additional scripting that I couldn't maybe do in SmartList Builder. So that is the Display SQL option. And now just to show you a different list, so we see some different things going on, I'm just going to go to a different list here. We'll do our GL trial balance, and we're going to look at the Preview Data option. So I can go to Options and select Preview Data, and you can see here it is returning the first 100 records that this GL trial balance list would return. Now any formatting or anything like that that I've added to that trial balance will not return this preview. It's just returning the raw data to us. And again, it's the first 100 records of that data. So those are the fields I have selected, and that's the data it's going to return for me. So you can quickly see, is this the right data? Did I get the right fields? Or maybe you don't know which field it is. I can do the preview, look at the fields and go, oh, it's this one, and that's the one I want. So that you don't have to go save this, run it in SmartList or Excel or in a navigation list just to see the data and then come back and pick the right columns. We can see it in the preview data here and quickly get that setup that we need. We looked at a lot of the field options in a previous section when we talked about the field settings. So keep in mind, you do have the field options, the blue arrow, available anywhere to set your field options. And you can change the drop down over here next to tables on the left hand here to field types so that you can see the different field types. And that way you can quickly find the currency fields you may have on your list or whatever you're looking for. You can also go to options and edit field settings for multiple fields at once. So you could edit the settings for all of your currency fields at once if you want to. You can also change the order here of your fields. So by default, they're always by field position. How are they ordered in that table or in that script or whatever you've added? But you can do it by field name, display status, default status, or field type. Now, when you get into the different builders, this is SmartList Builder, so we have display status and default status. When you get into Excel Report Builder, it's just the one. And then in Navigation List Builder, you just have a display status there. So those might change a little bit as far as the options available, depending on which of the builders you're in, but you can always reorder your columns so that they're easier to find if you have a lot of data there. Now, one additional feature that's available only in SmartList Builder, so not Excel Report Builder or Navigation List Builder, is the creating of a SQL view. If I go to Options, there's an option called Create View here that will create a SQL view of the setup I have in SmartList Builder. So you can see it's pulling in all the columns. If you don't want all the columns available in your view, you can uncheck them here. The other option we have is what name do I want to give that view? By default, we're going to give it the same name as your list. And at the bottom here, you see create in all company databases. By default, it's only going to create it in the company you're logged into. So I'm logged into Fabricam. This will create a SQL view in Fabricam. If you wanted to do it in all of your GP company databases, just check that box and then it will create a different SQL view in each company. When I click create, it has gone now into SQL and created a SQL view called GL Trial Balance that I can go now use in SQL reporting services, Crystal, wherever you want to pull that view into. It's available to you to use in SQL now. If I open my SQL Management Studio and go to my views under my Fabricam company, go down to my GL. Here's my GL Trial Balance SQL view that we've created, so I can use that. And when we do that, the permissions that we grant on it are none. So you have to grant whoever you want permissions to that SQL view. We're not giving anybody access to it. You need to tell SQL who can have access to that. So my SA user will automatically get access because it's a system administrator, but any other user that you might have wouldn't have access unless they're also a SQL admin. So those are some of the additional features available in the builders. Please complete exercise 51 at this time. When you are done, continue with section 33. If you'd like to see exercise 51 completed by me, please play the section 32 exercise review.